Winter in Finland. It can be cold, it can be dark, it can be absolutely brutal if you're not prepared, but also it can be completely magical and beautiful. This is my first winter back in Finland, and today I want to share how I'm surviving the cold, the fun winter activities to do, and give you some hints and tips on how you too can make your way through this beautiful / depressing time. Let's get into the video. Topic 1, surviving the cold. Now, obviously, if you've done some research and come into Finland, you can see it gets ridiculously cold here. Up in northern Finland, like we're reaching -20 degrees up to -40 in some places. It's insane. As an Australian, it's not something that I'm used to. So when it comes to layering is definitely key. I'm talking good boots, good winter boots, that is. Good gloves, beanie, scarf, several seasons worth of jackets. My wardrobe once consisted of gym shorts and gym shirts and some singlets and undies, but now it's a lot of different seasons worth of jackets and beanies and everything I went through. And it's definitely something that's needed when you come to Finland. Darkness hits extremely hard, and it's something that I'm still coming to terms with. Coming from Australia, getting some vitamin D, some sun wasn't really an issue. It's known to never be an issue in that country, right? Here in Finland, especially during winter, it's known in certain parts of the country where the sun doesn't even come up, and you have super late sunrises and super early sunsets. Plus with, add that into the addition of it being cold outside, things can spiral out of control very quickly. So you've got to do things, and this country's got things in place to help you survive. So we have a lot of artificial lighting. These things are super great. You can go out and purchase them at most stores, just exactly like this light I've got here. Just provide some artificial light that you can't just simply go outside most of the time and grab, because it's not going to be there. Taking vitamin D supplements, obviously, because you're not receiving vitamin D from the sun. There's lots of supplements out there, from pills to sprays, and a vast amount of different types of supplements, and they're readily available. So that is another great thing. But also, it's something that I'm trying to work on. If you can, go outside, grab some vitamin D from the sun when it is showing, because it will immensely change your mood. For the first few weeks during this winter period, I was obviously feeling very sluggish, and a combination of all that stuff and not seeing the sun, it definitely takes a toll. So I'm speaking from personal experience when I say go out and grab some sun if you can, and if you can't, replicate it the best you can, because you will never know how essential it is until it's gone. Now, it's not just cold, it also does get slippery. As a person who's come from, Australia, which is not known to be cold, to Finland, where, I always wished to have a white Christmas. And when you do the first, second time, it's cool. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. Snowballs, snow angels, all that fun. But then the next day, it's plus degrees, the snow starts to melt, it's raining, and then the next day, it's a blizzard, and it's just all this zigzag of temperatures, and then next minute, it's an ice ring out there. It's so slippery, it's extremely dangerous, and I very, very quickly started to hate the winter because of that reason. I find myself extremely terrified to walk anywhere when it's been plus degrees and it's been snowing, because of the fear of slipping over. Now, there are ways to get around it. Make sure you have good shoes. There are, I think they're called cleats. It's just like a rubber attachment thing that you can chuck on the bottom of any shoes, so you don't have to go out and buy specific shoes to help you walk on ice. But yeah, they're absolutely essential, or otherwise you'll be like me. You'll be walking like a penguin. You'll be walking extremely slow, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And slipping over is inevitable. It's a rite of passage here in Finland. Everybody does it, even from the foreigners who have never seen snow before to the Finnish people who have lived their whole life and they're used to the conditions. Trust me, they still slip over. Side note, nothing is worse and dangerous, I feel, than when you're in a city and there's been snow that's on the roofs and you got plus degrees and it's starting to fall down. When I lived in Helsinki and I would be walking in a street and I'd always see snow that's fallen like 4-6 stories down or whatever from height, and I can't help but think, man, if that hit me in the head, or if that snow hit somebody in the head, surely that would hurt. Not only are you dealing with walking and slipping over, but you've also got to be cautious of stuff coming down from roofs. Yeah, cool. Winter activities. When I say winter activities, the first thing that comes to my mind when I say winter activities is skiing, snowboarding, sledding, all that stuff. Those are key winter activities, obviously. They are around the world. But, you know, you have kids or you want to go out and kill some time, you can grab a sled. Almost any shop sells them, and you can go ride on a hill or a slope. It's fun, it's free, and it's everywhere. Cool. The sauna winter dip combo, as I like to call it. It's where you're going from a hot sauna and then jumping into some cold water. It's extremely common here in Finland, and it's something that I did do, and I did make a video on it, and I will continue to do it next time I do get a chance. The benefits from going from sauna to dipping in cold water, it's crazy. It's the number one thing that I get people to do when they come to this country. All right, unexpected changes during winter here in Finland. As magical as winter is here, and as great as it is, obviously it's going to come with some things that aren't so great. Now, one of those things is your vehicle, right? So you can't simply jump in your car and go to the shops. Or, for example, you start work at 7 o'clock in the morning, you can't jump in your car at 6:30 and drive to work. No, not during winter. You need to make sure that your car has been parked in a place where it's not going to get covered in snow or it's going to get frozen. If it is, you've then got to add time to your schedule to go out, remove the snow so the car can be backed out. You need to be able to remove the ice that's been built up on the windshield. Always remember to have a scraper or something to remove the ice from the windshield, and the de-icing spray. That's the stuff that you can chuck into your windscreen wiper fluid compartment in your car, and it just removes the ice buildup that you weren't able to scrape away. And also, one of the key things out there are car heaters. Most of the outdoor car parks in Finland at apartment locations or house complexes, there's a place where you can plug in your car. Now, this is something that you must do during winter, and you're going to regret it if you don't have it, but it's basically just a heater in your car. You plug it in overnight, or you set a timer on the heater so that your interior in your car, let's say it's -5 outside, you don't want to get into a -5 car in the morning or whenever you're going to drive it. Have a car heater, and they're very simple. Most cars here in Finland have the ability where you can place in a car heater, and most places have the ability for you to be able to plug it in. The cost of winter gear. Now, like I mentioned, I never owned so many clothes before coming here. Winter gear is extremely expensive, but trust me, I like to see it as a one-time purchase. I mean, this jacket here, yes, it's getting a little tight for me, but I've had this since 2018. I remember, I think it was like 180, 200 euro. In my mind, it was an expensive jacket, but it's lasted me an extremely long time. And, you know, when I do replace it, I'll be able to sell it and then purchase another one. Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for spending money on quality snow gear because it's a necessity. Keeping warm is the number one thing that you've got to keep in mind here in Finland. The feeling of never being fully warm. Even to this day, I'm extremely used to being cold, but when you're outside for, an hour plus, I still, in my mind, I'm like, geez, I can't go outside for that long. I'm going to get sick. My Finnish wife tells me it doesn't matter. As long as you're warm, you're dry, you've got no problem. You have no risk of getting sick, but you're always going to have that feeling of cold. Your nose is cold, your nose is running, your hands are cold, your toes are cold. That's always there. There's really no way you can get around it. But also, when you're indoors during winter, A lot of places have floor heating or wall heaters. And in my mind, obviously, if you're still cold, you can always layer up, chuck on some more socks, grab another blanket, put on another shirt. It's a lot easier in my mind to get warm than it is to get cool. And again, I just quickly want to touch on lighting because it plays such a massive role in how you feel the rest of the day. It helps with your depression. It helps with everything, especially during these dark times of winter. The biggest thing that I've noticed is in Finnish home is the lighting situation. A lot of Finnish homes like to have a light that's not that bright. As someone who likes, you know, things to be bright. When I say a bright light, like I'm talking like you go into like an emergency room or like a hospital, like bright. Like right now, I've got this light on because if I had it off, this is predominantly how light it is, especially when I'm filming. Yeah, this mood. I mean, honestly, if I didn't have the camera on and I closed my eyes, it would not be that hard for me to fall asleep in this environment. So that's definitely something. You need some good lights in your life, especially during winter. Oh, man. Gotta take this stuff off. That's been my experience with my first Finnish winter since I've been back. It's definitely been a mix of awesome experiences and challenges, and I look forward to more in the future. Now, if you've been through Finnish winter, let me know down in the comments, what was the hardest thing for you to adjust to? Or if you're thinking about visiting Finland during winter time, what's one thing that you want to try? Drop a comment below. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on more content for the life of an Australian living in Finland. Awesome. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.